A very good afternoon to all you grade 8 English first edition language types out there. Today we are going to be looking at capital letters, full stops, commas, exclamation marks, and question marks, which are collectively the most important of all the punctuation marks that you can use in your writing. And as you know, this is being presented by me. Let's get straight into it with capital letters. Okay, capital letters always at the start of a sentence. Please don't forget that. Here are some examples for you. You can see I have put the capital letters in red. And that first sentence there's, as you may know, it's the shortest verse in the Bible, and it's in John chapter 11. There we are, just to let you know. Now, proper nouns, in other words, names. In this particular case, I've used the names of countries. There's a reason for that. We'll come to that next. Okay, South Africa, France, China, and of course, Spain. Right, now, there's another thing for which capital letters are used. Well, there's several more things, but just while we're onto this slide here, please note, when you write down the pronoun I, it is always a capital letter. I've noticed that this is no longer fashionable for many people because we've become accustomed to our cell phones which don't always require the pronoun I to be a capital. They accept it as lowercase because that's how people are sending their text messages. So, capital letters also used for proper adjectives. Okay, and here are some examples. There we have it. South African is a proper adjective based on the noun, the proper noun, South Africa. Then you have French, which is a proper adjective based on the word France. And then you have Chinese, a proper adjective based on the word China. And you have Spanish, a proper adjective based on the word Spain. Right, now, the first word of direct speech is always a capital letter. Let's take a look at this. There we've got, Lorato said, this is a great prize. There we can see the first word of the direct speech is a capital. Then you've got, everybody must report on time, said the principal, and then you can see everybody starts with a capital letter. And you've got here, it tastes horrible, comma, said the chef, comma, and it smells worse. Sounds like Gordon Ramsay, right? And there you go. As you can see, the first word of the direct speech, it, is capitalized. Just please note, by the way, there are three methods of writing direct speech. One where your introductory clause is at the beginning. Second, where the introductory clause is at the end. And third, where the introductory clause is in the middle. So there we are. I've given you some extra information, free, gratis, and mahala. Now, full stops. Now, main purpose of a full stop is to stop a sentence, to end a sentence. Right? And note this. There's only three ways to end a sentence. The one is a full stop, the one is a question mark, and one is an exclamation mark. That's it. There are no other methods of ending sentences. Okay, so there we got, I am happy. Ooh, isn't that a nice cheerful sentence? And it stops with a full stop. All right, you will play soccer. There we go. Stops with a full stop. And he did not know. What he didn't know, we don't know. But it stops with a full stop. And of course, this is the end. Full stop. Right. Abbreviations. Some abbreviations have to contain full stops. There's, for example, EG. Right? And that's actually from Latin. It's the Latin words are exempli gratia. But you don't need to know that. All you need to know is that EG means for example, and it must contain it must contain full stops, otherwise it's wrong. Okay, i.e. that is, again from Latin, id est, and it must contain full stops, otherwise it's wrong. Etc., which means and so on. Again, it's from Latin, et cetera. And it must have a full stop ending it, otherwise it is wrong. The professor, prof, everybody calls them prof, but the abbreviation must have a full stop, otherwise it is wrong. And then PTO, please turn over. That one's not from Latin. And again, you must use full stops there, otherwise it's wrong. There we are, that's full stops. Let's talk about commas. And this is very important. You can actually save people's lives by using a comma. Take a look at that. Right, you've got let's eat granny and I like cooking my family and my pets. Whereas if you insert the correct commas, it's actually let's eat granny. And otherwise, I like cooking, comma, my family, comma, and my pets. Right, quite a difference there, I'm sure you'll agree. Now, commas used to separate words in a list. Here's an example. Here we are, please bring the following stationery, and a pen, a pencil, a pen, a ruler, and an eraser. Now, I have used here the Oxford comma. You don't have to use a comma there before the and, but if you do use a comma, it's a good idea. It sometimes clarifies meaning, and you cannot be penalized by somebody who says you can't use a comma there. I'm telling you, you can. Okay, this goes the same here. Concert presented by Andile, Busi, Celeste, and Daniel. And if you're clever, you'll notice they're in alphabetical order. Isn't that clever? And again, commas separating the words in the list. Okay, separate word phrases or clauses from the rest of the sentence. Here's some examples. Okay, Jeffrey Magana, the pastor of the church, gave an inspiring sermon. She displayed her paintings, comma, an impressive collection. He felt ill, which is why he stayed at home. There we are. Perfectly straightforward. Still with commas, separate introductory words or phrases from the rest of the sentence. Take a look here. Remember, you need to use a comma. Finally, check if you have used a full stop. And as a rule, people are afraid of snakes. That's very true, by the way. I'm not, but most normal people are. Once again, the meeting did not end on time. How unlike the ones that we have in the education department. Right, exclamation marks. Used to indicate strong emotion. Used after interjections. And, of course, indicate shouting or orders. Here, the first one is an example of an interjection. You got there, ouch! Or if you want to translate it into Sesotho, it's ishwe. Or in Afrikaans, eina. Right, and then you've got a shouted order, get out of here. And you have here an interjection followed by strong emotion, where it says, wow, this tastes fantastic. Okay, that's exclamation marks. Let's go now to question marks. We're doing quite well. Now, obviously, question marks are used to indicate questions, including rhetorical questions. And there's a very good example of a rhetorical question. Are you kidding me? You're not expecting an answer to that. You're just showing them, hey, I don't believe you. Right, and this one, a standard greeting in South Africa. Hi, how are you? Okay, this a quest for information. Do you know where Osborne's Academy is situated? And then, who is the top English learner in your grade? And I'm hoping it's you. And then, of course, the teacher's favorite. Why are you late? Okay, there we are. That's all we have for today. However, my final gift to you. Please see if you can do this simple task. It's not difficult at all. It's all multiple choice questions. And I've set it up in such a way that actually you're going to have a lot of fun and you'll probably get full marks.